Hello, everybody. Welcome to Better Together. When you know better, you get better. You know the drill, guys. That's what we try to do here every day. It is Thursday, October 22nd, 2020. Our quote for the day: stand up for what is right, even if you stand alone. Damn, don't they know that's hard?
Yeah, true.
Stand up for truth, regardless of who steps on it. Oh, Susie Kasem. Damn, that's not easy, right?
No, definitely not easy.
No, it's not easy. It's a little easier after you talk to Gretchen Carlson, but damn, it's still going to be hard. But welcome back to the show, everyone. Hello to our Heal Squad out there. Thank you for being a part of our little family here at Better Together. If you haven't joined our Patreon, guys, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. That's a fib. But honestly, it really is a great investment in yourself. Our healing workshops, the ad-free content, the extra content is sure to help you along in your life in an even bigger way. Of course, it's our exclusive content, so we hope you'll join us over there. Just click the link tree in the Better Together with Maria Instagram account or my Instagram account at Maria Menounos, and join us there at any level. Of course,
for you listeners who are hesitant about Patreon, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I hear about these Patreon shows, and I'm a podcaster who thinks like, I don't have time. I don't want to spend that money. I can tell you, and this isn't just my biased opinion, our Patreon is amazing. Mm-hmm. Here's what I would urge. Give it 1 month. Try our Patreon for 1 month. Hit that $10 tier and listen to some of these shows. Mm-hmm. Just try it. I know you're hearing about Patreon every day. Just give it 1 month, and I promise you, you're going to start listening to these shows. You'll have so many breakthroughs and realize that our Patreon experience is, to me, an essential part of really getting everything that you can out of this show. So give it a try. Give it a try if you're listening. You hear us every day. I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Amen, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Also, our mailing list, come join us at mariamenounos.com on our mailing list. It'll pop right up. You put your email in, and we're going to continue with our newsletters. We're going to be sharing our favorite beauty products, skin products, hair products, all of that good stuff there. So join us there. In the meantime, we're going to be talking about our takeaways from the week. And I have to say, I was really, really inspired by both ladies this week.
Me too.
We'll start with Dr. Christy Funk, who I love, who probably, her vocabulary is just so impressive.
Right?
The IGF receptor and the, blah, 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 you're like, whoa, how do you keep it all straight? Jeff was like blown away.
Yeah, right.
But I instantly ended that show and went and looked up non-GMO organic milk, soy milk. Mm-hmm. And then I contacted the caretaker for my mom and said, we're switching over to soy milk immediately for her smoothies. And I'm also going to give them the recipe for the smoothie that Dr. Funk is demoing for us in the Patreon, by the way. Another reason why you should join Patreon. She is demoing this cancer-fighting smoothie and a really delicious mocktail, which we love.
Yes, we love it.
And so I feel like I instantly was going into action on that. And now I really am going to think twice before I have dairy. I'm not saying that I'm fully cutting it out because I do love my pizza, but I am going to lessen it in a major way, especially knowing, when you see that there are these kind of puppeteers behind the scenes that are just manipulating us, you're like, no, I'm not that dumb, actually.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, I kind of was. I didn't know better before, but now I know better, so I'm going to do better.
And I like that what you just said, Maria, too. It's not, you don't have to cut it out cold turkey. I mean, for people who are cheese lovers, that's going to be really, really hard. But be mindful about it. If you're drinking 3 cups of milk a day, maybe let's cut it to 1. I mean, I was even talking to my dad last night, who is just like, no.
Not going to have it?
Not going to have it. But I did get him to stop and listen for a second, because I was like, Dad, listen. First of all, you've had cancer. So, you should be hyper aware of this. Yeah. Second of all, just cut your consumption in half.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to cut it out. You can still have it with your cereal, but maybe let's use some oat milk in your latte. like it's still delicious. That was a cool point too, Jeff. I'm glad you asked that question because I was on the same wavelength as Maria.
Yeah,
I didn't think oat milk was good.
I'm still not going to have it. It's too high in sugar.
No. I'm not going to have it either. I'm going to soy. But for these people who are trying to transition, like my father, oat milk, great option. Great option. So you have to cut it out altogether.
We should tell everybody about the dairy-free cheese that you exposed me to, because I've been making quesadillas while I've been here in Connecticut. And, I use the mixed cheese bag that everybody uses. It's got like sharp cheddar, mozzarella, whatever. But I made one with Kelsey's cheese. Didn't notice the difference. And P.S. if you add like the hot sauce and the jalapenos and the red onion or whatever in there, if you add stuff too, then you really don't taste the difference. But I had one plain and I liked it. I thought it was really good. I didn't notice much of a difference at all.
And the pizza too.
Oh, the cauliflower pizza's good.
And that's the dairy-free cheese too.
Dairy-free cheese.
Daya.
Yeah. And that's the cheese too, right? So the Daya cheese shredded comes in a bag, and that's what I use in the quesadilla. And then the Daya cauliflower pizza. Now, yes, it's not like that gooey, cheesy pizza we're used to.
Right.
But when you have pizza cravings like I do, it really did smell so beautiful in the kitchen that night. Kelsey surprised me and was making one while I was on a conference call. And then
being a good wifey.
She was a good wife. And then what was amazing was I love crunchiness. So the texture of the pizza is really crunchy and you kind of get your fill. It's almost like what she was saying, like you don't need to drink alcohol to feel like you're drinking alcohol. Like you can have a mocktail if it looks cute. Right. You're going to feel like you're included. I know a lot of people want to dissolve their problems away and mommy juice is really important or, whatever it is. COVID juice, mommy juice, life juice. But I've never been really a drinker. I do drink, but I'm not like, it's not something my parents weren't drinkers.
Right.
So it was kind of like not in our thing. Cheese has never been my thing outside of potato skins and pizza and a cheeseburger. Like I'd always have cheese. That's true.
You don't really have it that much.
No. I've recently become into making cheese boards because they're cute and they just, especially in COVID, entertaining, at least to pretend I was entertaining, was kind of fun. But if you notice me, I don't really eat a lot of the cheese. So I'm okay with omitting cheese as much as possible, but what I have to now start forcing is the substitutes. Yep. And the substitute, I even stopped using as much feta. Look, I don't really put it in my salads.
No, you don't.
I did yesterday.
Yeah. You're right.
Was it yesterday? Another day I did it.
Yeah,
but
Tuesday maybe.
I've kind of, so I'm going to start using the Daya cheese, the Daya shredded cheese instead. And maybe I'll do that in more things.
I love that. And I'm also looking up this other alternative right now that I love. I haven't had cheese since like high school because I had a doctor tell me I was like actually pretty allergic, right? So I was like, all right, whatever, cut it out. So I texted Jeff this yesterday. I said, Chris, you'd be proud of me. I'm way ahead of the trend. But so I've been looking for cheese alternatives for a minute. And this one, it's Mykonos or Mikos. Mikos. They have a really great, it's cashew based. But I love their stuff. They have good cream cheeses.
Wait, so Mikos is dairy-free? Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen it in the market all the time. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, and we got some butter, I think, the other day that was Mikos. So it must be ghee or... But so these alternatives are out here and out there, and they do taste really good. Like
I know. The thing is, though, when you're at the supermarket, you're already spending a ton of money.
Yeah.
You just go for try it and test it. It's hard to venture out. But I'm telling you, just trust me.
Yeah.
If you want to make the jump... Okay, whatever jump you're going to make, there's going to be a concession. It's not going to be exactly like what you had before, obviously, right? Yep. But like I switched over to dark chocolate. In the beginning, I was like, ugh, and then it's an acquired taste. Now I love dark chocolate. I can't imagine going back the other way because I know the nutritional benefits of dark chocolate. So when I need something sweet like last night, I was like, now have a little dark chocolate. Totally happy.
Yep.
Didn't inflame me at all. I wasn't getting that inflammation response that I get when I have sugar. And that Daya cheese is really good.
Yeah.
So
get on that diet.
Vegan cheese? Like, is it nuts?
Yeah. I know the Mikos is cashew based. I think the Daya is either coconut or almond. I think it's almond. But oftentimes, it's nuts.
So
Try it, Jeff.
interesting.
Report
Okay.
back to us. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't taste
Well, I
like
do
cheese,
love
but it.
cauliflower pizza. It's funny, just for taste. I've got some stuff with gluten. I'm like so stubborn about it, and Laura's like always trying to push gluten away from me because my dad's celiac. But I just love it. But converting to cauliflower pizza crust, it's actually delicious. It's very crispy. So Kels, I will try it.
Well, you don't want to get, here's the thing, Jeff. If you know you have a gluten thing and you know celiac's a thing in your family, I'm not sure if celiac is like a genetic thing or anything.
Can be.
Yeah. So it's like, come on now.
Come on now,
We need
Jeff.
to like, right? Like
I know.
my dad's diabetic. Everyone in my family's diabetic. I have to be super careful. Doesn't mean I don't cheat here and there, but I'm primarily watching it because I don't want to fall into that, knowing that I'm susceptible.
Totally.
So you gotta, because then you can never have it. That's when you're really screwed, right? Like you can never have it. So right now, you can dabble a smidge, right?
Exactly. That's why I'm holding out. But I do think it's something I know that I have in my life that I haven't really dove into. Maybe because of denial, maybe because I just don't want to open that door. But that's what it is. The older I'm getting as I approach my 30s, I just can't really play anymore. Like I feel like in my early 20s, I would feel bad, but like you bounce back quicker.
Totally.
It's just not the same anymore. So I know I have to.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We talk all the time on this show about how your loved ones can tell you something and you're like, nah. But then like when other people do. So when Kelsey and like, my very intelligent boss are calling me out, I'm like, they're probably right. Even though Laura's been telling me this for years, I need to get it looked at.
Oh yeah, Kevin gets so mad when I have to learn the lessons from someone else. But I'll tell you, even when we did the Bachelor viewing party last week, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a glass of wine. And it's organic wine, so the sulfite, it's less sulfites, and I know it's not gonna bother me like regular wine because I had to cut wine out. I realized it was really affecting my breathing. To the point where I was suffering and thinking I was dying. It was pretty extreme, actually. It was no
horrible.
joke. Had no idea. I was like, oh, it's my asthma. No, it's the wine, yo. It's the wine.
Oof.
So I was having it. And you know what? After I did have a little stuffiness, and it wasn't necessary.
No, it's not.
Like, it's just not necessary. So, and if you're somebody that just needs to kind of numb out a little, maybe have some CBD water.
But honestly,
Right?
Honestly, that's what I've been doing because I can't have my alcohol, but I feel good. And I've been having, if I want something, it's like a little CBD water or something. And I'm not mad at it. And Maria Jeff has been very kind. She's not drinking. Well, sometimes she's like, oh, I won't have it. I'll have a mocktail with you, or I'll have this with you.
Yeah, when she looks like she's gonna cheat, I'm like, I will not drink in solidarity.
Very kind of her.
Like, cause like we were going somewhere. We were at the farm last week, and she's like, I want a pumpkin beer, cause we were all talking about pumpkin beers, and I was like, okay, I won't have one either. You can't do it.
It was nice of her.
Elisa VT is working too hard, and your other doctor,
And Dr. Frank Littman.
they're all
who we
working
love.
too hard, and you the most are working too hard because you're abiding by the diet to heal your gut so much. I'm like, I just won't let her do it.
But the CBD. I love it. It's great.
So the dairy thing is real. I mean, when we get pizza, we're always like, can we get a little extra cheese? And
It
when
never
I
works out.
When I get my potato skins, I'm always like, a little extra cheese, a little extra bacon.
And then
sometimes
every
they
time-
skim.
Well, and then every time they come, Maria's like, dang it, I gotta stop doing this because they really don't know what little means.
Yeah. Then they go roll overboard, and then it's like,
pulling it off.
it's too much cheese for me.
Yeah.
I've never been the person that can just eat cheese plain either. Oh my God. I don't know how people do it. It's not my thing. But I'm going to really, I did an interview with Alicia Silverstone years ago when she wrote her vegan cookbook. And she talked about aspiring vegetarians. She said, you don't have to go cold turkey. You can be an aspiring vegetarian. And I'll never forget that really connected with me because she talked about how much it takes to produce like one piece of steak that you're going to have and how much water is wasted and how much this and that. And so even cutting your meat consumption by one steak a week or whatever it is, you make a huge difference on the environment and on your own body. And so, I feel like yesterday I was really focusing on having lots of fruits And so I cut up an apple,
saw
had a
that.
big bowl of blueberries.
Yeah.
I normally wouldn't eat that much, but I started to realize, okay, I need to be consuming more of these healthy, vitamin and mineral rich foods so that I'm not hungry and craving the junk. And I did. I had such a good eating day. I had like a soup for dinner, and it really made a big difference. So
It's true. It's true. And yeah, you don't have to. People, I think the issue is people are always like, oh, I can't do it. I can't, like, just cut it all out. Be an aspiring vegetarian. Be an aspiring less cheese lover. I don't know. But, it's just, it's small tweaks, and not even just about food and everything we're learning. All of this knowledge that we're learning every single day, it's the small tweaks. It's the 5 minutes extra you're waking up early so that you can have that me time, right? It's not like, hey, go meditate for an hour every day. Like, that's not realistic.
And try to levitate.
Right, well, but seriously, it's not gonna work.
Well, it's not like I'm never gonna have Doritos again in my life, or
Right.
it's not like I'm never going to have a cheeseburger again, or well, maybe I could. That I could do. Doritos. I don't know if I could say goodbye to Doritos. But I feel like it's really being more mindful about what we're putting in our bodies and making better choices at every turn, and those accumulate. Just
do.
like bad choices accumulate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're getting on
the
our
one
soy.
I've implemented from this show that's been a genuine game changer for me is 16 ounces of water with Himalayan salt and lemon before I have coffee.
Yes,
And that's
Jeff.
from Alyssa Goodman, and it's easy. And I just chug it. I just put it in a bottle of water and just throw it back before I have coffee. And it's fun. It's like a challenge. I'm like, okay, I'm starting my day. I can't do anything until I have this water. And what's so great about it is I've noticed a difference. I have more energy, but it also gets your water goal started, because you're trying to have 8 glasses a day. So if you start with that and you already have like 2 glasses down, you're like a quarter of the way there. So that's an easy one for our listeners. Give it a try.
I love it. How many ounces is in this thingy, Kels?
30.
30 ounces. How many ounces of water are we supposed to have a day?
Technically half of your body weight.
What?
That's like, I mean, if you're really trying to be like a water, like have a lot of
So
water.
I'm supposed to have 95 pounds of water a day?
Not pounds, ounces.
So whatever your weight
Oh.
is.
Yeah, you
So
cut
what
it in
am I?
half.
I'm probably haven't weighed myself.
No, Jeff.
Weighed myself in so
You can
long.
guess,
So say like
guess.
135.
Sure.
So I'm supposed to
Like 70-ish ounces of water.
Ounces.
ounces. And how much was
So
this? 30?
So you drink like
2 of these.
2.5 of those.
Well, I definitely fill this up like 4 times a
Yeah,
day.
so that's great.
Am I gonna drown?
No.
Am I drinking too
no.
much?
No. One time I did think I was doing that, because in college I was drinking like one of those per class, and I was like, water poison's a thing. So I really
Truly
chilled
is.
out. It is. I chilled out.
But these things have made a big difference. So this is Kelsey, by the way, impacting me. My guest, Kelsey. No, but this flask, I've had so many of these sent to me, and I've given them all away because I was like, I don't know what to do with this thing. And now it's been so great because we have well water here. So I just fill it up every day.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly carrying it around wherever I am. I take it to restaurants with me. First of all, that means you have to pay for an extra bottle of water.
Exactly.
Boom. That's like $4 off your bill probably. And now you're not having bottled water, which could have been sitting in the sun and melting in there. And that also creates breast cancer, by the way.
And hurting the environment.
And so this thing has become my new best friend.
Yes. You're also
Is that a
getting
hydro flask?
Yeah. And
Oh, you're such a Visco girl, Maria. That's awesome.
What's a
A
Visco
what?
girl?
A Visco girl, a VSCO girl. That's
that?
like all the cool. It's like the next generation of millennials. They love their oversized teas and their hydro flasks.
No, I know that I'm cool because of this. I know the young generation thinks these are cool, but what's Visco?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so we probably need to do a whole show on Visco girls because it's all very confusing to me. But Visco girls are kind of like the new Valley girl. So it's like and it's not a bad thing. I know it sounds like a bad thing when I say it that way.
Ballet girl, Visco girl.
Exactly.
Okay.
But Visco girls are like, they're very nice, actually. Like, that's what's cool is the new
Wait, is
generation.
Kelsey a Valley girl?
Am I?
Is that why Kelsey speaks like that? Is she a Valley girl? Is that Valley girl speak?
Can I tell you guys a fun story? In
Yes.
5th grade, I won class president by giving my speech talking like a Valley girl.
But is that the Valley girl accent that you have? I don't even realize. Is that it?
I don't know. Do I have an accent? Maria thinks I have an accent. I don't know.
I just want to say.
I know that's my Alexis. That's my Schitt's Creek.
I just want to say.
I just want to tell you guys
that
this
I
is really
love
exciting.
my Hydro Flask. It's amazing. Kelsey, that's you.
It's my Alexis.
But is that Valley Girl? I don't even remember.
No, it's Alexis. I'm telling you.
Okay,
I
but
think it's very
before
Maria.
West Coast. Because Kelsey's West Coast. I think a lot of West Coast girls are that way. It's not bad. It's just it's pleasant. It's bubbly. But yes, I think that's kind of.
Maria's
I think
like,
she's.
cut it.
I think no, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I never thought about that it could be Valley Girl until just the second. It's like very animated. That's why your kids show, your Nickelodeon show would have worked. Like, hi, it's me, Kelsey.
They messed up.
That is hilarious.
That's it. So I'm a Valley girl and Maria's a Visco girl.
I'm a Boston girl. I potty had.
She potty
that's
had.
my accent.
Potty had.
But okay, Jeff, back to whatever you were saying, because now I've totally lost my train of thought.
Girl.
Visco girls, yes.
So I'm going to read, this comes from Wikipedia. A Visco girl is someone who participates in youth subculture. It emerged in late 2019, so it's pretty new.
Ooh, yeah.
Named after the Visco photography app, which is like a photo editing kind of Facetune app.
I was wondering about that. That's funny.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, our intern's texting me. I love that Jeff is talking about Visco.
I'm hip.
Jeff is hip.
Oh my God, Jeff, you didn't just do that.
I was going to say.
I'm hip.
Maria.
No one who's ever done that has ever been hip before, so I just undid everything by saying it that way.
Oh my God.
But they wear oversized t-shirts. They love a scrunchie. They love a Hydro Flask. Friendship bracelets. So it's very pro-female, which I like. Birkenstocks, shell necklaces, and sea turtle conservation is a huge part of being a Visco girl. So Maria, you've got some of that. You're very pro-female and you're very pro saving the animals.
P.S. I used to make friendship bracelets.
There you go. Basically, you are a Visco girl.
I used to make them for everybody. If anybody wants one, I could
I want one.
Power up my powers.
Did you? I used to put mine on a clipboard and like do it. How'd you do it?
I used to tape it to like a desk, and
Can we make each other friendship
we
bracelets?
can make friendship bracelets.
Cool.
Yeah.
DM us if you want one, you guys.
We'll be in the
let us know.
laboratory for hours.
In the comments, is Maria a Visco girl? The other thing is they say.
Oh,
What?
you've sent me that video. It's a weird video. I don't
It's like
know.
You know how
Is
people
that how
type
people shut you
LOL? The way they laugh is by going
And what is that spelled like?
SK.
Stop it. No way.
Yeah, so it's
Jeff-
anti-oops.
Oh my God.
Jeff, how do you know? Like, where did you learn this?
Yeah, Jeff, this is kind of impressive.
Honestly.
No, I don't necessarily know. An AfterBuzzer was talking about Visco girls, and then John Mulaney, who's a comic I love, was talking about someone accused him of having Visco girl tendencies,
Dead.
and he dove down the rabbit hole. So
We need John Mulaney. He's so funny.
I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Is Maria a Visco girl, and should we embrace Visco girl culture or not? Very important questions.
Wow. I think this is
Hilarious.
the only thing I thought during that entire conversation. We need to get Maria a Better Together sticker for her Hydro Flask because I know
Yeah.
that's cool.
This is true. We need to. Oh, my friend Rita personalizes these kinds of things.
Oh.
So we could ask her to make one for me.
Yes, please.
So funny. Okay, Gretchen takeaways
Yeah,
because we only have a few minutes left. Gretchen,
She made me cry.
I have to say, when I asked her what was your biggest victory, I thought she was going to say like taking down Roger Ailes or the movie, or even though she had no part in the movie, you just kind of wonder. And then when she said her kids, I'm like, okay, she's going to have her kids. But when she told the story and it was what it was about her kids, and if you haven't listened to the episode yet, it's incredible. I was like, whoa. And of course, tears were streaming. It was so beautiful. But I also loved hearing, because sometimes you think you know everything, and we saw the movie and all of that. And I just know there's so much more behind it. So when I asked her if her NDA, if she was unmuzzled, would there be another bombshell? And she was like, yeah.
Chills.
The big thing for me that I had never really considered is so often we hear about settlements, and this is the reaction I'm ashamed I've had in the past is like, oh, good for them. Like, at least they're getting something that they deserve. But the amazing point that she brought up that almost like candidly made me emotional on air was that women don't want money. They don't.
Sorry.
That's not the answer. What they want is to work. Like, and like the fact that we've created a work culture where all women want to do is their jobs well, but some predator has put them in a position where the only alternative is to end their career and take money instead. That's not the goal. That's not justice. That's perpetuating the system. So that like kind of blew my mind. It was such an astutely brought up point on the show.
Well, I also love when she said, most of the time we just want to work and we want an apology. And I've been there. And I'm like, I've demanded my apology. I got it.
Did you really?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
What does that look like for women who need that apology, Maria?
You demand it. I held a crystal.
No way.
I was having like the call of my career and I was holding this big crystal. It was a purple heart crystal. And I was just mustering all the strength I had to have this conversation because I was unbelievably wronged. And I was going to, the top person who I had a great relationship with and thought that top person would hear me and rectify things. And instead they all want to cover up things. And I said, I want my apology. And I said it pretty sternly.
That's amazing.
And yeah.
I mean,
it's hard.
Like Gretchen said, though, I mean, me listening to you or listening to Gretchen, like, it makes me emotional because courage is contagious. So even hearing you say that, I'm like, damn, you're giving so many women out there the courage to go stand up for themselves. Like, I was getting emotional too during the whole show because it's so deeply rooted in our society, all these problems. Like, it's so sick. It's so sick. And like you said, Jeff, I mean, we're kind of trained to think the first layer is like, oh, good for them. They came out, they spoke about it. Yeah, and then she talks about it didn't even skim the surface.
Yeah.
Like, we have no idea.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hearing your stories,
I told you,
crazy.
I'll leave it on this note. The only times I got real respect was when I stood up for myself. And the biggest of the bullies, the nastiest of the nasty, pulled me aside to commend me for standing up for myself. And so if you know you're talented and you know you're willing to work hard, don't be afraid because you will be okay. It's just they manipulate you and they beat you down enough where you just feel like you have no other option than to relent. And there is another way. It's just, it's hard. So I feel like I'm always trying to help everybody else find their power because I don't feel like I owned mine enough. And so I hope you guys muster up the strength to do it. In the meantime, thank you guys for being with us as always. We hope you have an amazing weekend. Next week, we're going to be chatting with my favorite, my like idol of all idols, Cindy Crawford. I freaking love her.
We have a good week next week.
We have a really good week next week. Oh wait, is Dr. Diamond next week?
Yep.
Yes, we're going to talk about so much with Dr. Diamond as well. Don't want to miss it. In the meantime, follow us at Jeffrey Crane Graham, at Kelsmeyer2, at Better Together with Maria. And remember, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.